You are just a person that gives and gives and gives. Is there any time that people give to you?
Always, always, every single time. Sometimes it's subtle, just like if I see your smiling face, you're giving. I'm good with it. I don't need a lot.
So
Sunshine,
you're
here.
saying you're a simple guy.
Mhm. I like to think so.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Alizarin Cafe podcast. We have a very special guest. This is a triple dose of Dave, ladies and gentlemen. Dave Chow. Hello, Dave.
Pleasure to be here, as always. Oh, wait, this is my third go around, so I'm back. Hi,
Dave
how are you?
Chow, you are just a person that gives and gives and gives. Is there any time that people give to you?
Always, always, every single time. Sometimes it's subtle, just like if I see your smiling face, you're giving. I'm good with it. I don't need a lot.
So
Sunshine,
you're
here.
saying you're a simple guy,
Mhm. I like to think so. I'm low
like
maintenance.
that persona that we see out in public, where you've got the bling on, and you've got the high fashioned uh, clothing,
Clean, clean.
driving in that classic car. But when people get behind the walls where they see the true Dave, just a simple guy. Well, let's talk about another part of this simple person, Dave Chow, that a lot of people might not know of. He loves to go to restaurants in Detroit. He loves especially sandwich shops. At least that's what I think. That's what
I go
I've heard.
all kinds.
But I know you kind of peruse a lot of places. You have your favorites. So I want to start
I
with your
do.
top five. Can we go top five? Dave's top five
Ooh,
favorite places to eat
ooh,
in and
that's
around Detroit.
tough. That's
Like,
tough.
like let's say I met you on a Monday, you take me one of
What?
them. Tuesday, we go to another Wednesday.
Okay. What time of the day? Because I also take that into consideration. Are we doing breakfast, lunch, dinner, fourth
I
meal?
think I think let's do lunch for your top five lunch places.
Okay. If you want a simple lunch, I just go to Ernie's. It's easy.
All
I
right,
know
tell us
Ernie. I know the
about Ernie's. Not everybody knows about Ernie's.
best sandwich shop in Southeast Michigan for the last 20, 30 years. He's been there forever. And I just go in there. I said, give me a two meat sandwich. He throws it in. Every time it's different. He's never failed to disappoint. It's
You
friendly. It's
mean to tell me, as a creative person, you also eat creatively? Because when you say a two meat sandwich and you don't know what's coming, you're good with that?
I'm good with it.
See, back in episode one, you talked about curiosity.
Mhm.
So this applies in other parts of who you are. This is what we're learning.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so we got Ernie's, and you live in close to,
Berkeley. Yeah.
okay, Berkeley. So Ernie's is in Oak Park.
Yep.
Okay, so that's very close to you. Where else? So give me another hot spot.
Another hot spot that I like going to. Actually, favorite dinner place, El Barzone. I haven't been there in years, but Mexican Italian blend.
Where is that?
Southeast Detroit, or no, Southwest Detroit. Edge of Mexican town. So you get Mexican and Italian on the same menu. Sometimes the flavors cross over. So
All
that's
right,
fine.
I got to
And
look for this.
yeah, so I always like weird blends. I simply put, I trust the chef because they're not going to poison me. I hope. You know,
That's so cool. All right, so we got Ernie's, and then say the name of that place again.
El Barzone.
Al
Uh,
Barzone. Okay,
yes.
so we got Ernie's, we got Al Barzone. We need three more from Dave.
Xiaoju over in Madison Heights. Chinese place like my parents used to cook. Authentic food, not the almond boneless chicken, egg foo young stuff. This is like old school.
Wow, give us a dish if we went there that we should definitely try to get the old school
Ginger
style.
scallion beef.
Ginger,
You can't go wrong.
ginger
Scallion beef.
scallion. Okay, ginger scallion
Can't
beef.
go wrong with it.
Wow.
And what's cool about it is they're two doors down from a Chinese market. So if Eugene, if you and I go there, and you said, Dave, I have a hankering for fresh lobster. They will actually go down with a metal pan and fish out a fresh live lobster for us. So
That's
stuff like that, yeah, and it's like one of those old school. It's nothing fancy, but the food has
awesome.
always been amazing. So
Well, I haven't been to China, but I've been to New York City, to Chinatown, which, is probably either between that and San Francisco. I've been there for their Chinatown. You have these little markets that, the food, I mean, they have the birds, whether it's ducks or chickens or whatever, they're hanging upside down right in the front window. And, it seems like you can get pretty much anything. Uh, does that seem to go along with what you're talking about a little bit?
yeah, I have a friend of mine. He says, yeah, let's go to the market slash pet shop. He calls it so because yeah, I didn't know this until I went to China in 2002 that Chinese people they like fresh food. They don't like necessarily going to stores and buying frozen stuff. My cousins actually told me once, like, if say if you bought like chicken and if it was on a styrofoam platter, shrink wrapped, they think it's roadkill.
That's
They just
amazing.
they
Yeah, when
believe
you think
fresh food.
about like and this isn't something that is foreign to even this country because, when you watch movies like Gangs of New York and, you see the look of that place and all these people arriving on the boats and then staying in that area and it's just getting overpopulated. But you must have a million places like this where it was just fresh food. I mean, they didn't have packaged stuff back then.
And another example. My cousins, all six of them in China, first time we went, only one of them had a fridge
Oh my
because
gosh.
everything fresh. And you don't have leftovers. You just ate it all.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
And
my gosh.
can you
Wow.
imagine what I don't know if you ever did, but if you lived in New York, you don't have a full size fridge. You might have a little dinky one, maybe for cold drinks. But, you
Well,
don't have like a rack of ribs or a full blown turkey. I mean, you just ate what you ate, and next morning you woke up and you got it again.
oh my God, you're so right. I did have a chance to live in New York in the 90s just for a year, and one of my uh, people that I became friends with invited me over to their place, and it was so small that they had a key to the toilet that was out in the hall. It was their own, but they had to have a padlock on it because, other people would use it, I guess. And then where was their bathtub? Oh, it was in the kitchen with a board over it so he could cut his food and then move the board so he could take a bath in the kitchen.
Just don't
What's
confuse
going
the two. No, just don't confuse the two. But yeah, it's a just different way of living. Yeah, to
on?
me, New York, it's its own different culture. China's got its own different culture. So I like those little weird niches like that. That kind of it's like I got a bathroom with everything. I got a separate kitchen. I don't have to lock my bathroom. Thankfully. But it's like, but you appreciate those people in New York.
Yeah. Oh my
You have
gosh.
to walk down the hallway to use the bathroom. Really? And have to take a key with you?
Uh,
No, 3:30 in the morning, I might not be able to find the key. I mean, it's
Yeah, exactly. And then you have to go and you're like, I can't find the key. What the? You need a
panic at
sledge.
that.
That's
But I
my
mean,
key, my sledgehammer.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
okay, give us one more restaurant recommendation.
Ooh, let me think. Do I want a good burger joint? No. Mercury Bar. I like Mercury Bar. Good
All
burger
right,
joint
where?
down in Corktown.
Corktown. I was trying to
Corktown.
figure out, like, where's
Corktown.
Mercury?
Yep. Yeah, it's not
All
too
right.
bad. It's there forever. And right around the corner. Okay, here, I'll give you my fifth. Mudgies Deli. Mudgies
Oh,
Delicatessen. On the edge of
no.
Corktown. So it's all good. Two great
Oh,
places. And they've been
so
there.
you would you consider yourself a foodie?
I think so. I like food. I grew up, my dad was a chef. My mom worked, as a waitress. So I was around food all my life. So I respect cooks. I respect what they do. It's not an easy profession, but we're the benefactors of it. But I also admire like amazing chefs. I love watching videos on how to cook. Actually, during COVID, I took up cooking as a hobby.
How now, do you still continue to do that or is it just was it just at
Yeah,
that time?
still do. You know, my dad's been long gone. I remember one of the things that he told me about home cooking was like, if you can get over the idea that you have to prep food, it's like slicing up everything, measuring it all out. If you can get over that fear, you're good. Because he says, cooking in the wok takes all of 2 minutes, but all the prep work can take over half an hour. So if you can get over that, you're good. Oh, I think, so anyway, my dad taught me that. That was a lesson I learned as far as like prepping food.
Wow.
And
Do you have a special, like, since you've really started to dabble in cooking since the pandemic, do you have any favorite dishes that both you and Marcy enjoy?
right about now, I've been getting into a garlic noodle thing. Garlic noodle, just garlic
Ah,
noodle. Simple.
okay.
The first
Yep.
recipe I learned was to use like thin spaghetti. But since then, I've also gone to like pre-made noodles, udon noodles. Yeah, I saw a recipe online calls for 8 cloves of garlic. I can't count, so I put 12 cloves of garlic in there. So just it, right about now, since I learned to make that recipe, it's relatively easy. I don't even think about ramen noodles anymore. I mean, think about it. College. Wasn't ramen like a staple?
Oh my gosh.
I don't even go
Definitely.
ramen anymore. I refuse to go there, with this garlic noodle dish.
Yeah, that's saying a lot there, Dave.
Yeah.
That is saying a lot. Hey, so as we're getting to the end of our third episode here, I wanted to
Oh,
reserve a little time. I wanted to reserve a little time to bring up something that, people that know you will know this, but people that are just learning about who Dave Chow is might not know that you have a tiki collection. Do
just a little
you
one.
do you do you want to share with us how that got started and what that even is? What's a tiki? I mean, how do you describe a tiki?
It's for what I collect. I collect tiki bar memorabilia, pretty much. Um, my dad, my uncle, they worked at a couple places in town that had them. It's a potent drink. That's all. I think. Do I have one? I've got a few around the office, but they're on shelves. I can't exactly get to easily. But I collect vintage ones. I try. Right now there's a huge uptick in tiki bars opening up all over the country, and everyone has like a new mug every week, and they charge a couple $100 for one. I can't keep up with that trade. It's like I can't be at every bar buying a new mug every time a new bar opens up. So I go for the vintage ones.
Wow.
So
Now,
yeah, I go
how
for
did
the
this
ones
get started?
in the Detroit. What's that?
How did it get started?
What was that again, huge?
Oh, how did your collection get started?
Uh well, actually, yeah, I used to collect salt and pepper shakers too. So I had these two little moais from the Kahiki in Columbus that I just kind of liked. And then one time we are in Maine, and my wife found one in the back of an old antique shed. Said, let's get that one. And then I come home. My dad goes, "Oh yeah, we used to have hundreds of those at the restaurant I worked at." Then I remember my uncle kind of famous one in the Detroit area for cheap. I think I caught the wave beforehand, before it became super popular. So I've just amassed them over the years. Go to estate sales, garage sales, anywhere I can find them. So I have fun. It's just good visual stuff, and I'm thankful that that we have just enough room for it, barely. So
Do you
it
think you would ever, would you ever consider putting out a line of Dave Chow style tiki glasses designed by you?
I can try. It's just not my forte. I've tried drawing tiki, and it's just not. I don't have the sensitivity that some of the true masters do. So I know that about myself. I mean, I've done menus, I've done matchbooks, I've done things like that for
To
other people. But designing a mug is an entirely different beast. It's beyond me. That's all. So I don't know. I still enjoy it. but I also know my limitations.
Incredible, Dave. And what's cool about what I know about you and your collection is, do you want to reveal how many pieces are in it?
Couple thousand, minimally. I mean, we've never really counted, but we probably a couple thousand pieces easily. And they're all varying shapes.
And we say that we say that and we know that you're still married. So that's pretty positive.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I bring them home, and my poor wife has to find a place to put them. That's all. But she's good at that. She arranges them in a nice, tasteful way, which that's her skill, that's her talent. I just go out. I'm the guy that will go out on the estate sale at 4:30 in the morning, wait in line all day to get a mug if I had to. So it's part of the
I
chase.
love that. I love that about you, Dave. Well, we want to thank you for being on a triple dose of Dave on the
Oh,
Alizarin Cafe, which is our new podcast where we use the term alizarin, which is an organic color, to have organic discussions, and they can be pretty much about whatever pops into our head, which we figured that out during these 3 episodes. So,
Lord knows it
Dave,
does.
I just want to thank you, and I hope that you know that I do want to meet up with you in person. I just didn't
Yep,
know how to do this podcast that way. So I figured we'd get this out of the way, and then if I hit you up at the beginning of, say, next week, can we arrange one of your favorite
sure,
eateries?
sure.
Maybe even.
Let's go. Let's go grab some food.
All right. Well, thanks, Dave, and thanks to our viewers. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you at the next episode of Alizarin Cafe Podcast. Bye, everybody.